it going, guys? I am back, starting 2 whole minutes late. Forgive me. Hope everybody's doing all right. Uh, let's see here. Let me just set myself up here so I know where I am. I got some paper, got some pencils. I got one quick little update for one of our commission pieces that all of our commission pieces are actually a little bit overdue, so I appreciate your patience as I catch up through the list, which is awesome. I appreciate you guys. Let me see. Let me jump in the chat. Oh my gosh, there's a whole bunch of chatting, as it were. Let's see where you guys are at, and yeah, we'll catch up here, and then we'll see what we're going to be sketching tonight. Like I said, I got one quick update with the finished piece, and I'll show that off in just a second. Kevin, what's up, dude? I was just talking to Kevin a little while ago. Rejoice, for I am here. Yes, you are here to bother and torment and plague. All good, man. I'm glad you're here, dude. Pete, what's up, dude? Peter Retro Palmiati. He shakes his head. I'm glad you're here, dude. Kevin says, is that a shake up and down or side to side? I'll have to go slow-mo to figure it out. Oh no, we're not going to take the drug from Dread. The drawing will take too long. We'll never get it finished. We'll never get it finished. Kevin says, Michael, where have you been? Some person in the room, hey, how you doing? Glad you're hanging out with us, dude. That's awesome. And some person says, I've been dropping the Magittent link other places. That's super important, dude. Thank you so much for doing that. That's something else I wanted to mention tonight is we're supporting my daughter, Cat Mouse. She's been working in the industry for, over 10 years now. She colors graphic novels. She does all types of art and painting and stuff. But this is her first solo creator-owned comic series. So actually, you know what? Let me show it to you real quick. Some of you have already backed, and which is awesome. Thank you so much for supporting her and supporting the studio. She likes to say that she's part of Team Toe Beans. Her title is called Magittens. It's a nice all ages story. It's super cute, super adorable. It follows the story of these three little sister kittens as they travel through this magical land filled with dragons and whatnot and such. This is what the artwork looks like. I got the link in the description of the video. So if you wanted to click the link there, or if you go to Kickstarter and just look for Magittens or look for Cat Mouse, and you will definitely find it. She's got some really cute characters. Oh, look, my hand's off to the side. The Waffle Dragon, which is based on good old Waffle, our studio pup. Then we've got her other characters here. But yeah, I just wanted to give you guys a quick little look before we got started. So if you guys, there's a PDF. It's like $5. I mean, if you guys wanted to pitch in $5, help her out a little bit, make sure that she funds the campaign, and we'll see where it goes from there. I think she's got 20 days left to go. She's, she would be here, but she's actually at Balticon right now. She traveled up to Balticon. She was up there hanging out with friends and promoting and doing things. So I wish her a safe return back. She's coming back home tomorrow. So she's up there having fun and spreading the good word, as it were. Let me see. Let me scroll back up to find out where I'm at. There we go. But yeah, thank you, some person, for dropping that link. That's lifesaver, dude. My reach is so limited. I feel like my sharing and tagging skills need all the help it can get. Very cool. Saying hello. Kevin says, dropping it like it's hot. Some person says, if I picked it up, no one else could. It is not called littering. Well, I mean, you don't want to drop it. Yes, leaving opportunities. Totally agree. Let's see. Smart man, tell me if you left some $100 bills with them. Paul, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. Awesome, awesome. Some person says the best part. I don't. No, not cat litter. We're all supporting Cat's new Kickstarter campaign. It's MAGITTENS #1, the Dragon Thief. Not that our sketch tonight has anything to do with that, but her being Cat Mouse and being part of the studio here, being my spawn, as it were, it would behoove me to mention her projects so that we can all jump in and give her a little bit of support. That'd be awesome. Let's see. Kevin says, "Oh, that's just mean." Right. Peter saying hello. Awesome. Let's see. Yep. Kevin says pretty much. Paul says it's about mouse time. I agree. Over 10 years working for everybody else. It's time for her to do her own thing, spread her wings. As Kevin says, he beat me to my comment about being late. Ken Albury, what's up, dude? What's up, fellow backers? Awesome. That is a good greeting. Good greeting. Follow Ken. Follow Ken's example, my friends. Follow his example well. I'm glad you're hanging out with us, dude. That's awesome. Got a good group with us here for a Saturday night. Good chill out. Kevin says, is that kind of like Hawaiian time? Peter says, hey, Bill. Of course, I'm catching up. You might have said that like a good 5 minutes ago. So I'm catching up. I mean, as soon as I get up to the end of the chat here, we're going to start our sketching. So we're going to find out what we got for tonight. So let's say some person says, I sense a cat in the office. No, she's actually in Baltimore. She's at Balticon right now. So she was up there spreading the good news of her book, celebrating the birthday of our good friend Shay. I think a lot of you know who Shay and Sai are from the Red Valkyrie YouTube channel. And yeah, it's good to hang out with friends and have some fun over the weekend. As Kevin says, you are forgiven for the penance of free art. Ken Zazer, what's up? Ken Alpha saying evening, gents. Excellent. Kevin says a little overdue. The Kens are saying hello. Yes, Ken Omega, Ken Alpha. We have a room full of Kens here now. We are complete with Kens. Some person says a cat mouse appearance is a special event. This is true. Always a special event. Kevin says, hello, Ken. Hello, Barbie. Ken is asking, how's everybody doing tonight? Very, very cool. Ken says, Ken, but in code. Very cool, saying hello. Excellent. Ken says, you gotta be magitting me. I've earned those dad jokes. I think I've earned them. Kevin says, I imagine the waffle dragons sound like Sean Connery. Oh, that would be funny. I don't know if the waffle dragon would sound like Sean Connery, but that would be cool. I see the connection. Oh, thank you, some person. That is, in fact, the Kickstarter link for anybody who hasn't backed yet. She's super close. I mean, dude, she's only like $40 away from funding, from her first funding goal. I think she has a couple of stretch goals sprinkled in there. Very excited to see her doing her own things. I think some person says, is Kat with Shay at the con? Yes. In fact, right now, I just got a text from them a little while ago. They are at the Hard Rock Cafe with a group, and they are doing the happy birthday thing. They're chilling. Ken says, Kat's Kickstarters are much different from Bill's. But wait, there's more. I know, right? I take all of my cues from the late, rest in peace, Billy Mays. Paul says, I feel like there is only one art page Kickstarter left, but more were added. Is it an actual page of the comic for $100? That's pretty awesome. Yes, it is. The only thing about that particular tier, you are getting an actual interior page from the book, from the actual story, but she's picking it at random as to which page you'll be receiving. Now, if you message her directly and give her a little hint, a little nudge, this is a nice, easy to manage campaign. I think not too many bells and whistles. So if there is something that you'd like to kind of like nudge her and say, hey, I'd like to have a particular page. We'll see. No promises. Like I said, this is absolutely her campaign. I'm not doing anything except helping her put books in boxes at the end of the day to help her ship them out. Everything other than that, it's all hers, all hers. Peter says the channel has 666 subscribers. The sign of the beast. Unless he turned that upside down, I guess it would still be 666. All right, so I've got 666 subscribers tonight. In October, close to Halloween. I love you guys. Some person says perhaps a Three Stooges version of Nira. Maybe. Perhaps. You got my brain racing to think of how I'm going to do that. Giving Nira a bowl haircut. Actually, Mercy already has like the bangs, so Mercy could be Mo. I don't know which Cyber Angel would be Curly. Have to put somebody in a bald cap. Saying hello, cool. Paul says loot boxes coming soon. Yes, in fact, the loot boxes, my 30-year loot box, I'm thinking they're probably going to drop on Halloween. I think they're going to drop on Halloween. That is when they're going to drop. And I think the price of them is going to include the shipping. So I think most everybody is. I'll include a thing there for international just in case. And I don't know if I'm going to drop it on my online store or if I'm just going to drop it on my Facebook page. I might have you guys actually just write to me directly in my Facebook, and then I'll confirm that I have one for you, and then do it like that. I think it's a small amount. There's only 50 boxes in the set, and all of them are different. Some of them have a lot of overlap, but there's a lot of boxes that only have certain things in them. Each one will have an original sketch card in it from a particular set that I've worked on, like Vampirella, Witchblade, Star Wars. So each card box will have one original piece. And I think the boxes are going to be priced at the price it would be if you were just buying just the original card, which is going to be $60. So, because they're from those specific sets. So, what I want is I want the feeling to be that everything else in the card set is a freebie. I want to feel like everything in the card is a gift for buying the random original sketch card that's inside the boxes. So yeah, look for it. It's going to come Halloween night, and it's probably going to be that evening right after everybody is done trick-or-treating, and that's when I'm going to drop the loot boxes. Thanks, Paul, for asking about that. That's cool, very cool. Ken says last week someone mentioned a Tron style thing. I'm up for some Tron, some Tron action. In fact, you know what? Let me take one of these sheets here. This will be my notes off to the side. I'll put the Tron idea so it'll percolate while we catch up with the chat. I'm almost caught up, guys. Let's see. Some person says Shay's the bodyguard. Some person saying hello. Awesome. Kevin says for a few dollars more. 667, the neighbor of the beast. That's my count. That's my count. Kevin says, I guess that's good for October. Jason, what's up, dude? Beastly subs. And now I'm starting to get hungry for a sandwich. Alex says, 666, this is all Kevin's fault. By the way, thank you for hanging out with us tonight, Alex. Let me scroll up. Yeah. Jason and Alex. Those are the two new names that I have run across. Thanks for hanging out with us, guys. Awesome. All right. Kevin says, Bill knows where my mind is right now. Yes, I do. Some person says something like the Meets the Thing or the Gilman sort of thing. Could be something like that. Starting to throw some ideas around. Alex says you should pin the campaign link in the chat, Bill. Oh, I should. Do I know how to do that? How do I do that? I don't think I've done that before. I've got the link in the description of the video, and some person did just share the link a little bit ago, but pinning it on the top would be nice. Actually, no, I think I could do it, right? Let me give it a shot. Let me give this a shot. Let me open up. Let me grab her Kickstarter link real quick. Grab the little short link from her page. Oh, please, really? Do I have to sign in? Okay, let me sign in. Look at me hitting all the buttons, doing all the things. All right, let me grab this link here. Very cool. All right, let's see, I'll paste it. I'll post it. And let me see if I can pin it. Look what I did. Look what I did. Alex, you believed in me and I did it. You guys are awesome. I tell you, if I'm not surrounded by cool people, I would get nowhere. I would have to be taken by the hand. Oh my God. All right. Thanks, Alex. You forced me to learn something new. The little bit of pressure. You got me. I was able to do it. Let's see. Kevin says, just don't drop it on your foot or your drying hand. All right. Ken says, Tron girls with a strategically placed disc. I like the idea that the Tron thing is sticking in my head. Some person is saying Universal Monsters, 2 sexy versions, of course. I like the idea of some Universal Monsters. I'm going to jot that down because hopefully we will get the 2 pieces tonight. That would be awesome. So some Universal Monster action, either like a Frankenstein or maybe a creature from the Black Lagoon. What do you guys think about that sort of thing? Kevin says, as I've mentioned it, Gem X Cora. It's a possibility. I mean, it's like I do miss Cora. Technically, Mercy could be Cora. They both got black bangs. Paul says we got to milk the Halloween guys. Pumpkintron. Pumpkintron. Ken says, are you going to have a special Halloween draw with the loot box drop? I'm thinking something. I want to have something special for that night. So definitely doing some kind of live stream on Halloween night would be awesome. I know that Kat is busy again on that weekend, so I'm not going to be handing out candy to kids or doing a party. So why not have a party right here? Yeah, so Kat and David are heading out to NecoCon. NecoCon is a convention that is fairly close to here, but it does take place that weekend for Halloween, so she's not going to be here. So I need something to do during my loot box drop. It's a good idea, Ken. I think I may be jumping on that. Jason says maybe Tron Nera jumping the shark. I like how we're sticking with Tron. I like mixing Tron, maybe Nera, maybe Mercy. Kevin says, Kevin me or Kevin the Minion? Christopher Bouchard, thanks, my friend. Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. Says, hello, my friend. What are we drawing tonight? And how's the commission? You know what? You're the person that we get to surprise tonight. You actually have a good update tonight because the commission that I just finished happens to be yours. You have the finished commission tonight. Granted, I had to cover up a little bit of it because we're still on YouTube. But there we go with our poison ivy. Got the bat symbol in the background. Got her kind of like commanding the weeds and the things here. Maybe I'll post an uncensored version. Actually, I'm going to post this piece on the Patreon page so everybody can see it. And I got to put some digital colors on this piece too. But I think she came out really nice. I hope you like it, dude. Very, very cool. Okay, let me take this back off here. Keep it safe right over here. Awesome, dude. Alex says, yes, all Kevin's Rook-a-Reich. First you post the link in the comment. See. There we go. Some person saying hello, very cool. Alex says, then you can pin it. You have taught me well, Alex. Peter saying hello, very cool. There is the link again. Some person is sharing it in the chat. Thank you so much, dude. Alex says, super Peter. Christopher saying hello. Kevin saying the Thing from the original movie. Oh, yeah. The Thing. Not the. I'm all thinking like Fantastic Four, The Thing, but you're talking about The Thing, like the scary The Thing. Ken says, any Club Corrupt update heading our way? Yes, this week finally. Oh my gosh, I was supposed to do it this past week, and things just got caught behind, my friend. But there is updates coming this week finally, and we'll keep the updates rolling after that. So you guys have been super patient. Thank you so much, man. Oh yeah, that was me. I posted that. Alex said I did it. All right, I am almost caught up. Kevin and Ken are creating new content for the club. Some animated content using the artwork. So it's using the artwork from our streams and some of the private artwork that we've done together. So something new to look forward to. I'll give you guys a tease. That's a good tease. Peter says, you did a thing. Yay. True. Now I'm a pro YouTuber. Ken says, still think the Cyber Angels as the Pumpkin Spice Girls. I feel like that's going to take a long time to get all those girls in there. We'll see. Right now, the Tron idea is really syncing with me. So Alex says, damn it, man. He said girls with a disc, Bill. Tron discs, maybe a cycle, maybe a Tron cycle. And for the second piece, maybe Universal Monsters. Just think of Gina Davis as a sexy vamp. Paul says if you do an Invisible Man homage, it could be a real quick and easy drawing. It'll go for super cheap. I'll tell you that right now. Some person says it could be a costume party. That's a cool idea. I like that. Idea. A monster mash, if you will. Yes. Kevin says, damn it, those Post-its. Some person says, you should get coconut stickers so you can use those to cover the knockers. Yes. Peter says, nice piece, Bill. Thanks, dude. I appreciate that. Yeah, Poison Ivy. She's always a sexy girl. Kevin says, Poison Ivy needs more vines and tentacle action. Christopher says, the Poison Ivy artwork looks awesome. And how about a hot cat woman? Black Cat mashup. You know what? I'm going to write Black Cat on here just in case. Because some Universal Monster something or other. We've got Tron going on. Christy Hand in the room. Thanks, dude. Glad you're hanging out with us, man. The Smashing Pumpkins. I'll draw them in the background singing some music. Kevin says something nude. Coming soon. Christiane says Poison Ivy holding pumpkins. Christiane says, also, I like pumpkins. I like pumpkin from idea too. I like the pumpkin idea too. Okay, that is good. That is good. Let's see. Kevin says I can see Catwoman and Black Cat mashing up together. Well, let's see how this comes together. Let's see how this comes together. All right. So you're mentioning Tron. We're mentioning a lot of Universal monsters and a lot of. But Tron was what we were thinking of first. And you were mentioning Korra. You know what? Since we're thinking about a Tron cycle, let's do this. Let's go sideways with it. Let's think about. Let's see. Is this light too bright over here? See if that looks better. You're mentioning Korra. Now, if I fall too far behind in the chat, I may skip over some of them just so that we can get to the sketches. But maybe because you were mentioning, I think, did you mention Mercy before, or was that me? That was just me mentioning it because she has bangs. How's our time looking? So we got about if we spend about a half hour on this one, then the second one can mix up some of this Universal Monsters ideas that I see were being tossed about. But the first ones that were being tossed about were Tron ideas. So let's see what we can do with that first. By the way, I have been giving some thought to moving our stream over to Discord. Just in case you're wondering, because we were talking about that a little while back. About moving it to a Discord. That way we don't necessarily have to censor the art. And we just kind of do what we like and see where things go from there. But I am very unfamiliar with running a Discord and whether or not I can use StreamYard to make the show if I'm doing it on Discord. So those are some of the things that I'm figuring out, or that I'll have to figure out soon. I think we're going to have a Mercy Korra mashup. And we're mashing things up. I'm thinking the next one could include the Catwoman ideas with maybe some Universal monsters, so that way we can kind of put a couple of those ideas together in one place. Let's get a little expression on Mercy's face first and see where we're at. Let me get an expression on her face, and then I'll run back to the chat to make sure I don't fall too terribly far behind. Actually, you know what? Let me fix this job just a little bit. Mercy a Korra haircut. let me catch up with. Out of the corner of my eye, I see the chat moving, and it's like, oh man, I'm missing everything. I'm missing what everybody's talking about. All right, let me get the camera a little closer here and see what's going on. Okay, I didn't fall too far behind. We're doing good. Pumpkintron. Christiane also says Catwoman Black Cat Tigra piece. Ah, that would be fun too. Put a pin in that. That's a cool idea. Hairball. Paul says Discord. Oh goodness, I never had much luck staying connected over there. Yeah, I don't know. It's like Discord was a suggestion. It was a suggestion by the chat as far as a place where we could stream. That was where we didn't necessarily have to censor the artwork as much, and I think everybody. And I haven't been on Discord, so I really don't know what being on Discord is like. So for all I know, we may just continue the YouTube channel indefinitely and just keep on doing things here. But I was being presented the Discord idea as this good alternative. So if there's reasons to not go to Discord, I also need to know those things too. So that's good that you say something, because I do want to make it. Obviously, I want to make it as easy as possible for everybody to be able to find the show and to be able to join and stay connected. Definitely don't want to make anything more difficult. So if it ends up being a better choice to go to Discord, then that's sounds cool to me. But if it's not really best for everybody, then that's something I need to know too. So that way, that'll help me decide what we may or may not do. Get a little bit of her torso, kind of figure out where she's headed. The Universal Monster. I'm already looking forward to the Universal Monsters one, because there's going to be monsters. Some person says you could use Rumble. I'll write that down as something to look into. Peter says you just use camera on Discord. Yeah, if it works for you. Okay. Paul says, Lord have mercy. Plus, I don't know how easy it is for people to just find you on Discord also. So like people come to my channel on YouTube, or I have the link, because I'm also simulcasting to my Facebook pages. And people find us that way also. That could be how a lot of you find out that we're actually streaming at all, is because it shows up on the feed on Facebook. That just a moment. Some person says start the stream here, then continue it there. Okay. Rumble.com. Okay, I'll definitely check out the link and just see what's up with it. And I don't know how the chat works. I don't know if it's similar to YouTube. It's like if it's the same kind of setup or whatever. So it's like I gotta learn some new things, but at least I'm considering different options, and we'll see where things go from there. Let's see. Christian says Saturday YouTube, Sunday Discord, Monday Rumble. You never know. That could happen. It could happen. If it makes it easy for everybody to be able to jump in and hang out with us, then that's a good possibility. Very cool. Saying hello, Maurice. What's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us, man. Let's see. Maurice says, "I've been trying to work on a Discord channel for Bill." It's true. Yeah, you were the one giving me the most amount of advice or information about Discord. So it's at least I'm thinking about it. We'll see. This is obviously something for 2026, but at least I'll get my brain moving on it a little bit because I know there's going to be a learning curve to it. Very cool, very cool. Everybody's saying hello. Christiane says, "Hey, some person. Hey, Maurice." Kevin says, "I'm sure there are tutorials on how to stream on Discord." Yeah, I know. I need to find time to watch tutorials. I'm trying to finish 3 books, man. Kevin says, "I'm sure there are tutorials on how to stream on Discord." I just read you twice, didn't I? See, that's how fried I am. That's how fried I could be. Ken Albury says, "We could share art on and such in the Discord chat, could we not?" I'm not sure. I don't know personally how Discord works, or how we message back and forth, or if it's similar to YouTube, or if there's a different setup to it. So these are things that I'm just thinking about because I've been suggested by quite a few people to stream in different spaces. Paul says you mentioned some new names. They could introduce themselves and say how they found us. Oh, please. If anybody is fairly new to the channel, or even if you've been here for a little bit, let us know where you did find us, or where you found me, where you found us in the chat. We're a good group. How'd you find us? Kevin says, "Monsters are such interesting people." Some person says, "Rumble is what other streamers use. They start on YouTube to get their users and move it to Rumble." So I'm assuming it's really easy for the viewers to. Are they clicking a different link to move onto Rumble, or it's like? See, that's what I don't know. That's what I don't understand. You just clicking a button and the whole show just slides over, or everybody's like, "Okay, I'll meet you over there." So I'm not really sure how all that works. Marty says, "I'll have you hooked up for that, Bill." Yeah, we're gonna see how next year rolls. I got a little bit of learning to do first. Christiane says, "I found you on Facebook." Very cool. Maurice says, "I found Bill through DeviantArt." I have not been active on DeviantArt in a little while too. That's a place I do need to post a little bit more often. DeviantArt is where I was actually active the most back in the day. Kevin says, "I want to be Clue 2.0 and de-res any Tron costumes." That's what might be happening to our Cora Mercy here. We'll see what's happening with her. Ken says, "I found Bill sitting all alone at his booth in San Diego Comic-Con in 1994. This is true. It is how you found me. Kevin says, "I found Bill in Amazing Al's Comics and Cards." Yes, you did. In Southern California. You found me in person. That was some time ago, my friend. Some person says, "Click a different link that goes there." Okay. And it's got a chat also. Let's see. Kevin says, "Bill all alone in 1994, and now we have the instant access to bother him at all times." Yeah, it's cool. Some person, there's a chat and stuff there too. So yeah, I have to take a little look. I have to take a little look because we could put our streams like this. We can keep on in a different area. Since YouTube has so many rules and stuff anyway, and And plus, marketing wise, it kind of helps anyway because I'm trying to sell Mira and the Cyber Angels, not sell them off, but license them to interested parties. And the private stuff, our private streams, no problem at all. We can do what we like when we're doing stuff. But as far as the public streams that are on YouTube and places like this, I want to make sure that those licensors see a commercially viable public-facing Mira, as it were. And YouTube just has a bunch of rules anyway, so. I got lots of different art. There's art that I do that is general audience, and there's art that I do that is adult friendly. So, because it's part of who I am. I want to be able to keep on doing both. Because it's fun. Kevin says he wanted to de-res her costume. So it's very possible that the racing lines on her costume are the only bits of costume there is. Which will be a lot more apparent in the color version of this piece. Let's see here. Peter says DeviantArt is a lot of AI. I was still posting there last year, not lately. Was somewhat good. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I haven't posted there in quite a while. Kirk Basson, what's up? Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. That's awesome. A little bit of a Tron sketch to get us started this evening. Glad you're hanging out with us. Marie says, "What happens in the in the droid stays on the droid. What happens on the droid stays on the droid." Kevin says, "Let me throw this out there in the open to hear others' thoughts on this. When you read Bill's comics, what sort of voices do you hear for the ladies, or who specifically do you imagine?" Yeah, we're trying to pick some dream casted voices for the different characters. Ken says we love both of your types of art, PG and X-rated. This is good. As adults, you can partake of both. It is excellent. And as far as like the commercial stuff, it's like it keeps me legit, and that's where this is where the fun money is, and then the other stuff keeps me in business. So it's good. I got to be able to do both. Paul says, not sure we have had a Cyber Angel this hot since the on the beach drawing in the summer. Ah, cool. Maurice says the grid. What stays on the grid? Dumb spell check. Exactly. Kevin says, only X-rated can Zazer? What about super secret triple X stuff? All right, so we're gonna have the tiniest bit of racing stripe costume for our Mercy Cora. Excelente. I haven't had a chance to see the new Tron film, and I've been reading. What I've read is kind of weird as far as like what direction they took the story in. So I'll still watch it for the spectacle. I love me some light cycles, and I like some cool soundtrack. But I like Tron Legacy a lot, so we shall do Korra tonight. I'll straighten those out a little bit. Here, you always set that there like that. Oh yeah. Make her a little squishy. Let's see, Christopher Bouchard is saying the artwork looks fantastic. Thanks, dude. Very, very cool. Yeah, I like how she came out. This is a nice piece for tonight. Ken says, "Well, of course we love that. Duh." Kevin says, "You know this is going to look so good in color." Oh yeah, yeah. This one is definitely going to need the digital color on top to bring it out. Kevin says, "Already pictured the end of the line club in the background." Maurice says, "I loved the special effects, but the story was off." Yeah, that's what I keep hearing. That's what I keep hearing. Kevin says, I think Samus. I always say Samus. It's always Samus, right? Without her armor, of course. Would just love how Korra looks in and out of the suit. Yes. Jason says, "You'll either love it or hate it. To me, it looks like a rental, but I need to watch the last one yet too." Yeah. I believe that's a thing. I feel like I have to watch it regardless, and I'll just keep my expectations low. I'll go in knowing that the soundtrack is good. I know the visuals are going to be amazing, but they need to start spending more money in the writers' room. Trying to figure out what their story arcs are really going to be about. I was as soon as I found out they weren't really picking up with the characters that we left off with in Legacy, I'm just like, why the time jump? Why are we just ignoring that? Or so, anyways, I don't know. I'll form an opinion once I actually have a chance to watch it. Night Phoenix, what's up, dude? Night Phoenix says, "Wow, thank you, dude. I'll take that compliment. That's awesome. I'm glad you like, my friend." This is we're mashing up Mercy, the Cyber Angel, with Korra, and The skimpiest Tron outfit we could come up with. You know what? Haven't had a little tiny. No, maybe I'll do the more of the old school light cycle. I love the light cycles. To me, that's a whole movie. I'll just turn to just let the music play and just watch the light cycles do their thing. Cool. We got a light cycle. Kevin says, anyone think that Cora needs high heels? Peter says, Tron is the visuals. If the story is good, then great, but I don't expect it. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. Especially with what I've heard recently with the new one. First Tron was and is great, both visuals and story. Oh yeah, man, it captured my perfect 80s when we were actually in the 80s. So yeah, Tron was everything, man. Tron had everything I needed out of a movie, and dude. People don't realize just how cutting edge the graphics were when the movie first came out. I mean, it was so dope. I mean, it blew our minds, you know. But that was a lot of things. Late 70s, all the 80s, everything that we were watching back then was that jank was new. It's like nobody had ever seen things like it. When Star Wars came out, they thought it was going to flop because there was nothing else. There was nothing like it before, you know. And Tron came out. There's definitely nothing like that from before. They didn't know what that was going to do, and that's taking a chance, showing people something new. See, Paul says, "Damn, Bill, that's some good stuff, pinup style." Thanks, man. That's cool. Yeah, she kind of drew herself. She's like, "This is how I want to look." Some person says, "Is she blue or red?" You know, I think for the Patreon page, I think we're going to have one of each. I think that would be a good idea. In my mind, I'm looking at her and I'm thinking blue. But red would be kind of badass too. Like I'm thinking blue. That's why I got the round disc instead of the triangular disc. Because the red is on a totally different grid, I think, right? Is that how the story goes? I think. Kevin says, same us. At least he didn't say Seamus. It's Seamus McFly. I think she's in pink. Dude, that's actually a good idea. We might have to do a pink version too. That's actually a really good idea. Put a pin in that. Remind me about that when I post it. Let's see. Ken says Cora needs some user input. Kevin says that looks like a Hot Wheels light cycle. I know, right? Patang, what's up, dude? Glad you're hanging out with us tonight. Hello, right back. Ken says, I believe that she needs heels, maybe strappy heels, and the straps are light lines. Well, Ken, can I corrupt her code? Let's see. Let's see about these heels of which you speak. Let's see if we have enough room. Let's see if we have enough room at the bottom of this page here. Give her some Tron heels. Give her some straps. I like the way you think. Some little Tron heels. Kevin says, oh, so heels made of light. Paul says, the first Tron couldn't get a special effects nomination because they used computers. That was really the reason that they held them back? Man, if they only knew, right? Jeez. Kevin says, I think she's just kind of a white color. I know, it's like, well, I really just drew the line, like the actual highlight lines, instead of making the suit at all. But we won't make them glow like in different color. We'll make them glow, like in the blue, in the red, and now in the pink. Some person says maybe a confused Pac-Man in the distance. I like that. Where would I put Pac-Man? Actually, you know what? What if... she's kind of sitting on a board. See how this works out. I think when I put the digital colors in there, that'll look really cool. Like she's sitting on a Pac-Man maze. Sucks for the bike because the bike's going to hit a wall now. Here, I'll put a little ghosty over here. You put a cool little idea in my head. Paul says, how many bidders just drop out for no Tarantino toe fetish on this one? I see what you're saying. Yeah, well, my first instinct was to draw her barefoot. I like seeing her toes. Well, I tell you what, if whoever wins this piece at the end of the night, you have the option of keeping the heels on or going right back to the little bare feet. Because remember, the piece is still in pencil at the end of the auction. So remember that. Keep that in mind, and I'll put a note on the back of the piece. And we can go either way with that. That would be cool. Kevin says, Jem would love to look on Cora. Would love that look on Cora. Peter says, next bill, we learn to turn comments off so we can see the drawing. Pro YouTuber, my ass. Now, are there comments on top of the drawing? Is that what's going on? Do I need to go and take a look at the YouTube channel? Because I want to take a look at it. I don't think I have I don't have the comments on the thing, right? Oh, okay. Just making sure. I had to take a quick look to make sure that wasn't, because I got that thing where you put the comments like right on the screen, and it takes up half the screen, and the comments are too small. See what I mean? Like I can put the comments right here, but then it like kind of eats up the screen a little bit. Ken says maybe a Flynn's arcade token on the ground next to her. Oh. It's too small to read, though. But I'll put some tokens next to her. I'll keep the idea alive, so that way maybe I can draw a little tiny Flynn's token. Kevin says she's going to glow like my cheeks. Paul says Pac-Man eating pumpkins. Ah, keep a theme going. That's a possibility. I'll do it on just a couple of them. And when I ink it, I can hook them all up. There you go. That's my little note to make all the little things pumpkins. Some person says you're Qbert. Ah, Qbert going classic arcade characters. Let's see here. I remember Qbert from back in the day, yo. It's going to take me a minute to draw a Qbert background, but I'm going to put the note on my thing here because I'm going to have to get some reference for Qbert. But I'm going to draw it good enough to where I know that Qbert is what's going on over here. You know what? I'm going to put Qbert with some glasses. There's going to be a Qbert arena over here. You get the general idea. That's where I'm going. I'm going to grab some reference so I can actually draw that right. It's a retarded way of drawing it, but I'll draw it a lot better when I get the inks under. That's going to take me a minute. All right, Kevin says, let's see. So, Sam Flynn, I'm here in the real world with you. Show me what it is that real people like to do. There's only a few things. Ken says, ooh, an arcade game table, or don't forget the pizza and cheese grease, right? Yeah, we could make this basically like the inside of like Flynn's. You know what? I'm going to put a sign. Where to put a sign? Straight in the back. No, I'm going to put. I'm just going to kind of mark off an area in the background. Because I can put the logo for Flynn's in the background, like it's hanging on a wall. We can make it so this Qbert and some of the other video game characters are like they're sort of outside the video game cabinet, so they're glowing. I'm asking for a lot of trust on this one because I'm really sketching it loose. Like I'm sketching where things are going as opposed to sketching them super good right now. Got some bricks peeking through the walls. For anybody who's watching our show for the first time, I hope I'm spelling Flynn's right. I'll fix it if I'm not. This is what we do every Saturday, or at least we try to make it every Saturday. We get together in the chat, come up with a bunch of crazy ideas and see what ideas stick, and then we come up with a sketch. In the case of this one, the background is very loose sketch, and then we auction off the artwork at the end of the show, at the end of the evening. Now, the artwork that you're going to receive is going to be something that's fully inked, akin to Christopher's piece here. So you are going to be getting a fully finished piece, but for the sake of time on the show, during the show, we get as far as getting the raw pencil sketch down. Then, of course, if you're the winner of the artwork, it's very simple. What happens from that point, basically you're just sending in a PayPal. I put up my Gmail address up on the screen, and that's where you send your PayPal to, and you just make sure that you have your mailing address and everything on your payment. So that way I know who you are and which piece you won, and it keeps me organized a little bit. You know what? Let's get some pizza over here. The second I draw pizza, all I want to draw is Ninja Turtles. Can't have an arcade without pizza, though. Lamp above the table. There you go. That piece is really taking shape. It's totally different than what I thought we were gonna do. But that's how this goes. You guys just give me lots of good ideas, and it grows from there. Kevin says, "Well, there was a Pac-Man in the movie, so it is fitting to have it there too." That's right. I forgot about that. That's right. They did include that Easter egg in there. Ken says Pac-Man should have googly eyes looking up. I agree. There you go. A little bit of a close-up of the old Pac-Man. There's a freaking out. I was like, whoa. Okay, now we're back in focus. Night Phoenix says, confused Pac-Man. It's like, I know where I want to go. Kevin says, damn, we need to take on From Dusk Till Dawn. Oh, that would be fun. Some person says, Bill, if you hung out with Zed Comics, you could visit their retro arcade in Chicago. Ooh, that would be fun. It's a one fee and play all you like. Ah, got you. I like those kind of places. There's one downtown here too where I live. One of those kind of places. They got all the retro games and a bunch of other stuff. It's pretty cool. Kevin says, I think comments are only over the video if you are on a phone. Oh, yeah. If you're watching on your mobile OS, as it were. I don't know if it does it on iPad or if it does it on tablets, but yeah, I've seen it do it on phones. Yeah. Alex says, yeah, the YouTube mobile is probably the issue. Yeah. Oh, the places that Light Cycle has been. Kevin says, I think I still have some Flynn Arcane tokens around here somewhere. Oh, that's cool. I put a quarter on her chest and say, I got next. Some person says, are you keeping the background to a minimum or can there be things there? Well, it's already past 11, so I think this piece is pretty close to being what it can be. So that way we have enough time to get a second piece in for the night. I think we want to do those monsters. We want to do some universal monsters tonight. Kevin says the pumpkin is the 800-point fruit that Pac-Man got. That actually makes more sense. Yeah, that actually makes more sense instead of the cherries or whatever. Yeah. Peter says, what I meant, Bill, you turn comments off, draw, then turn them back on when chatting. Ah, I didn't know I could do that. But then it's like, I don't want to hold you guys back from talking to each other, too. So it's like, I don't think I would want to actually turn it off. You know what I mean? Because, I don't want to prevent you guys, because hanging out with each other and me hanging out with you guys is kind of like, that's the show. That's the whole, this is an excuse for us to all hang out. So worst comes to worst, what might happen is if I really get far behind on a drawing, I might just have to skip a lot of what you guys might be talking about and just head to the bottom. Jason says Dig Dug. Oh, Dig Dug was a favorite. I should put Dig Dug right on the pizza. Unless there's maybe there's a cabinet over there. Check out the box. What if I'm gonna make Dig Dug part of, like, maybe it's drawn on the wall or something. You know what I mean? Because I kind of like the idea of Dig Dug shooting the hose down into the pizza, like he's trying to get to the pizza. Boulder traps. Yeah, that could be a thing. Yeah, I'll like that a lot better. Some person says that'll make the background simple. Just need perspective lines that are colored bright. Kevin says, "Oh come on, it has to be space paranoids." Ken says it looks like Bebop. Yeah, a little. Yeah, I could see that. Kevin says with glasses, he's more of an OG Bert. Ken says your Q*bert isn't far off at all. Yeah, it's a general idea. I played a lot of Q*bert, and it's like, man, I haven't seen it in so long. Ken says your signature could be a neon sign. Ooh, that would be neat. Paul says, just no Jared Leto, please. This artwork contains 0% Jared Leto. Kevin says apparently the building is for lease again now. If only I had the money. That would be something, wouldn't it? Dude. Some person says this will be the most neon coloring you'll do. I think so too. I agree. Kevin says, you don't deposit the coin on her chest. Well, you could, but I already made my deposit in the coin slot. No. Ken said he was calling dibs. Some person says, like and sub, please. Please, everybody click on the like button. And if you're not subscribed, please do subscribe. The numbers do help on some level. It lets me know. It gives me a warm and fuzzy feeling inside, knowing that you guys are subscribed and you'd like to come here to have some fun with me. Ken says, oh boy, Kev, I know, right? Christopher says, I love the Poison Ivy artwork. Can't wait to see the other commission artwork. Very, very cool, dude. Kevin says, come on, everyone, thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up, peoples. I appreciate you guys. Kevin says pizza and new Coke. Very timely. Very timely. Ken says, serious question. Okay. Was there anything better than an arcade in the 80s? Loads of pizza and a pocket full of quarters. Dude, that was life, man. That was life. I miss those days. I legit miss those days. I love having my freaking PlayStation at home and whatever, but going to the arcade and yeah, it's like I miss that. I miss those days. Simple times. At least, feels that way now, right? Paul says, can we at least get an October calendar in the back with Halloween circled in the back? You know what? That's not a bad idea. That's not a bad idea. The next piece is going to have some Universal monsters, so that's obviously going to be. Halloween. I'll put some Halloween stuff on the calendar. And maybe we'll have a little spider web up in the corner. Just to drive the point home. All right, I think that's good. I think that's good for her. A lot of tightening up with the inks on this one. But it's worth it. We know where everything is. Kevin says, I wonder, does the light cycle have a vibrate function? Some person says, reading chats is good for Bill. It keeps his mind in shape. It's true. It's true. I haven't read since high school. I need to be able to read at speed. Kevin says, what shape is that? Some person, a bent out of shape. Perspective lines like the holodeck. Would that digital calendar suffer from infamous Y2K bug? All right, we've got Flynn's Halloween night. We're gonna set that off to the side. Make sure we keep that safe. All right, we were sort of thinking about. Let me see. Let's try it this way now. We did one in landscape. Let's do this one in portrait. We were talking about Catwoman. We were talking about monsters. So let's start with Catwoman. We'll put her in the middle of this situation. It's 11:20, but I think we still have enough time to get a sketch and get some funny or get some cool or scary ideas in here. Let's get a little expression on her face here going. See, I'm trying to decide if I want her goggles on or off. I think typically I end up drawing her goggles up on her forehead, like she's always got them pulled up. But maybe I want to draw her goggles over her eyes. Let me see what you guys think. Let's see. Peter says, back in the 80s, I worked off Park Avenue. My best friend and I, who worked for the same company, went to Times Square after work on payday to 3 arcades. Dude, that's so cool, right in the middle of New York City, right there. That's pretty dope. I was actually born in New York City. I was born in Queens. One of the reasons I love going to New York Comic Con is because it feels like a pilgrimage. It feels like I'm going back to visit. Kevin says, of all the gin joints you could have wandered into, it had to be mine. What bizarre, freaky bar did I just break into? Brooklyn born. Check it out, man. Very cool, dude. Ken says, were you born in Mecca, New York? Yeah, I like taking Nero back to New York, don't I? Now you know why. Now you know why. Yeah, it turns out I am Irish and Puerto Rican. And they don't have a checkbox for that when you go to fill out forms. And La Jolla too. Yeah, you know my favorite places, dude. Yeah, San Diego was my was my most favorite journey. Yeah, I lived in San Diego for gosh, almost 13 years. And we still have family there, so I got tons of friends there. We still have to go back and forth. Skipping San Diego Comic Con this past year, that was hurtful. Did not want to skip my trip, but it needed to be done, nonetheless. Let's see. Kevin says Irish. I wish you could draw faster. All right, you get half a point for that. Some person says those Europeans got around. Yeah, they did. Kevin says the Beach Boys did too. Yes, they did. Yeah, see. All right, let's see what kind of shenanigans poor Catwoman is going to get into today. What's up with these Catwomans? I'm sure her costume is going to have some battle damage. But I'm not sure which Universal monsters are going to be taking up her evening. Gotham Halloween, here we come. All right, little by little, let's see where we're going here. Some person says they may have just as many illegitimate children. Kevin says Catwoman needs to have an issue with her zipper, don't you think? Always. No. We have Catwoman, but with a universal monster. So something to do with some universal monster. I think we're still trying to kind of decide which universal monster to go with. We might go with more than one. We might draw a couple. See, Peter says, so no pets in the mouse house? Almost everyone I know has a dog or a few cats. Oh, we have a dog. We have a dog. Waffle is his name. He is our studio Dachshund, as it were. I gotta post some more pictures of the little guy. I don't have anything queued up at the moment, but I'll have to see about putting him on camera. Actually, I don't know. Maybe I can put him on camera. Let me see. Let me see if my phone will actually connect. We'll see what happens. Oh, it might. It might. Look. There's Waffle right there. There's Waffle. Hello, Mr. Waffle. Mr. Waffly Poo. He's napping in the corner. There we go. Let me put it back on the not shaky camera, which is my hand shaking because I'm holding it weird. There we go. Yeah, Mr. Waffle. He's doing good. He's being a good boy right now. We got him some good play time before the show, so that way I knew he would be happy and comfortable. He wouldn't have a lot of energy, some pent up energy he had to get out. Kevin says, I know the Wolfman and all his pups. You know, we could do something with a Wolfman. Let's see here. You said you wanted to have a mishap with her zipper. So let's have a mishap with her zipper. Waffle was confused why I was pointing a camera at him. Generally laying in where all the brush shading and stuff will go in her costume. Now, you were mentioning the Wolfman, were you not? So let's we'll start with him. I don't know if we're going to have any Wolfman pups. We're definitely going to start with the Wolfman. Wolfman Jack. You guys remember Wolfman Jack? I mean, that's dating myself right there. I gotta imply where his hair grows on his face, or else it kind of doesn't look like it. Mr. Wolfman. Oops, gotta break off this lead here. I got to the end of my lead. Make sure I got more in there. All right. Good to go. Oh, wonderful. We're doing good on time. I don't have to rush too fast. I don't want to make the pencil look too rough. You know what I mean? Like, I want you to see what the drawing's really going to look like. Looks like she's holding it back, or maybe he's like sneaking up on her. The Wolfman. Here we go. Let me catch up a little bit with you guys real quick. Let's see. Wolfman and Catwoman finally together. Kevin says the mummy could be used as backdrop toilet paper. I do like the idea of putting the mummy somewhere back here. So we'll try and figure that out. Picture where everybody's going to be positioned. I think this will be pretty fun. this Universal Monsters idea is going to be a little crazy. You guys gave me a silly idea with this whole mummy thing. Gotta have the mummy. Let's make sure we got some room. Let's see what's dinging. Let me see what's dinging. Like I got something in the microwave. Thanks, Ken. Ken's sending me some animations. We got to put all of these in. In fact, I got Kevin putting them into a Dropbox folder, so that way, because I want to share them, dude. But I want to share like the high res, like whatever res it comes at. If I share it from the phone, it comes out so small. I think these are going to be dope. And we'll get everybody's opinion about some things too, because of the technology used to make them. But I think if we're doing it for fun, I think it's totally cool. In fact, I'll get a little opinion from everybody since we're all here. So I've got obviously, I don't use AI to draw artwork. However, we can use it to have some fun. Let me see how this one. Let's see. Ken just sent me one. Kevin and Ken are my. Oh my gosh, that is so funny. But if you guys want to have these posted up on, I don't know. I don't think you can see them that good. If you'd like to have these posted on the Patreon page, look at it. It's actually using my artwork. Oh, let me see this one. This is cool. There we go. That's Malka, the Cyber Angel. Oh, look at that. That's dope. And we've got a bunch of other ones too. And if you guys like, we're going to post all of these on the Patreon page as well. So I think that would be fun. Something just for you guys. All right, let's get this mummy in here. But yeah, let me know in the chat what you think of using it for those porpoises. Oh, you know what? Her leg's got to be going over the mummy. So yeah, the guys have been taking some of the artwork from our commissions and stuff and breathing a little digital life into them. And like I said, it's for fun. Obviously, I'm not using that to create the books or anything like that. All right, let's get this mummy set up here. All right, we got a decent start on this Catwoman situation. I think you see where this is going. We're gonna have monsters all around her. She's having a freaky Halloween. All right, let me catch up with you guys and see where we're at here. Ken says I was always partial to the Ballant version of Catwoman. I was too. She's very big upstairs. She's very big upstairs, but I think that's why I liked her. Some person says creature from the Black Lagoon. Oh yeah, yep. I'm gonna write it down too because I don't want to forget him because he's a favorite. How is Waffle doing? Is he sleeping behind you? He is. Yeah, he's doing all right. He's curled up like a little donut. I kind of disturbed him a little bit when I put the camera in his face, but he's like, it's okay. You're fine. You gave me snacks. Thanks, Peter. Yeah, he's a good boy. He's a good boy. Kevin says he already drew the Invisible Man, as voiced by Vincent Price. Abbott and Costello meet the Wolfman. You just didn't see him draw the character. Some person says, Waffle, what, snacks? You got snacks? Yeah, I got to be careful how many times I say that word over and over again. He'll hear me. Some person says in the Munsters they had an uncle who was the Gill Man. His name was Gilbert. Oh my God, I don't remember Gilbert. I watched the Munsters as a kid too. I don't remember Gilbert. I'm gonna have to rewatch some stuff. I'll look it back up. I used to love the Munsters. Some person says, which brings up the question again: how are there different monsters in one family? It is a good question. Ken says Wolfman Jack had his own cartoon. He did. I remember that. Peter says Wolfman Jack. He was the plumber, right? No, Wolfman Jack was the DJ. He was a radio personality. Some person says I've heard of Wolfman Jack and Casey Kasem. That's right, the two biggest voices in radio, for sure, for like a whole era. Some person says he was an independent contractor, a lone wolf, if you will. Yeah. Kevin said, "Is that Lon Chaney or Michael J. Fox?" I think it's a little bit more Chaney. He's a little bit more grizzled, a little older, not so teenagery. Peter says the Wolfman should be grabbing her waist. Agreed. In fact, let's do that now. While we've got the idea. Read my mind. Excellent. Kind of rough in where it's going to go. Good Halloween theme, I think. Catwoman attacked in Gotham on Halloween night. his other arm wrapped over here. Make sure I don't forget that he has a leg also. And I'll put a hole in his kneecap and his jeans. There we go. This is a monstrous situation. Let's see, some person says, Catwoman, we can't marry until you meet my mummy. Yo, mummy, get over here. Kevin says, grabbing her waist. What a waste of a short of the breast sort of opportunity presenting itself. Some person says, if that mummy was turned around, this would change the context of the image. 1000%. Kevin says, I will create a Dropbox. The images are actually a bit on the small side, what with the recent nerfing on capabilities. But at least with the Dropbox, they'll be as big as, the file size will be as big as we can get them, like original size. Instead of texting them back and forth, because if we text them, which is good to see on the phone, I think texting compresses it weird. Like it further compresses it. So it's like, at least if it's on Dropbox, it'll be the original res. Kevin says, what? What the fuck is a mummy doing there? He's blocking a great view. Peter says animations are pretty cool. Awesome, dude. Some person sharing the link to our Patreon page. It is our secret Patreon page. You can only tell your closest friends. Kevin says, I hope the mummy knows not to use his teeth. Right. Some person is like, shh, don't tell nobody. I mean, tell people, but don't tell people. Maurice says, oh, that is a sweet video playing on that phone. Yeah, they did it. They did a good job with that. They did a good job. We're trying to make peace with our AI overlords. Only for some things. Only for some things. Oops, here we go. There we go. Okay. Ken says, I'm not into AI creating stuff, but using it to do alternate type stuff for fun on already created material is cool. Yeah. And it's just for us. It's just for our group and for our purposes, as it were. So I think it's fun. Ken says, I'm not into... we just read that. Thank you, some person, for sharing the link to my website. I also have a link for my website to Kat's new Kickstarter campaign, and she can really use some support there. If you guys would go over there, or the link is in the description of the video. I also have it pinned up. Thank you, Alex. I also have it pinned up to the top of the chat for Kat's Kickstarter. We want to make sure that she meets her funding goal and hopefully grows it even further from there, as I want to see her series do very good. The first printing of this book is only going to be from this Kickstarter. So as the series grows, she wants to make it an unlimited series. She doesn't want to keep on doing number ones over and over again. So as this series grows, if we ever reprint the number one, it's definitely not going to be first printings of those books anymore. Very true, very true. Some person says, is Mr. Peanut a universal monster? We have been considering Mr. Peanut for some time, have we not, my good friend? You know, it would be hilarious to have Mr. Peanut in this piece. Let me see something real quick. Let me see something real quick. Whoops. Here we go. There we go. My phone wasn't agreeing with me. There we go. There we go. Just get some quick little reference here. Because it would be funny. I think we're going to get Halloween edition Mr. Peanut. Didn't think I'd do it, huh? We're going to get him over here. We got... Oh my gosh, we're running out of time. Yeah, we'll go over a little bit. If you guys don't mind, we'll go over by just a little bit. Typically, we like to start the auction right at midnight because I know sometimes, you know, people have... You're trying to schedule things around other things that you got to do. Then you got to get to sleep and stuff. But I will make this as close to midnight as possible. Haunted Mr. Peanut. Too funny, dude. Oh, the world has become evil. Evil, I say. Those are ancient comments. Okay, I don't have too far to go down. I'll be caught up soon. Gilbert Godfrey. Oh, Gilbert Godfrey. Put him back there. Like, hello, Halloween. Kevin says, hey, you aren't Little Red Riding Hood, but you're much more womanly than her. So I'm not sure if Catwoman is into furries. Some person says the mummy should have a knowing smirk. I should have Yeah, a little bit of a smile on this guy. Yeah, he knows what's up. He knows what's going on. Kevin says, I'm not going to say it. Nope. But the mummy will. Something smells dead down there. I don't know what dead smells like. Well, I did when I still had a nose. Mr. Peanut, this is nuts. Mr. Peanut isn't universal. Christiane says, who's got the nut allergy? Kevin says Mr. Peanut is a tough nut to crack, but Frankenstein's monster is up to the task. Frankenstein should be like at least the one guy that we should still be putting up here. Oh no, but we still got the creature from the Black Lagoon. Oops, here we go. Some person says it's Saturday night, probably no work for everyone in the chat or not. Okay, we'll go over a little bit. At the very least, we got to put the Gill Man in here. Now it's kind of I was hoping for Frankenstein too. We'll see. Kevin says my brain hit the floor with the nut allergy comment. I'm thankful my mother did not have one. Warning: this drawing may have nuts. Interpret how you will. He's just buttering us up. Greasing the palm. Christiane says Mr. Peanut is a little chunky, but the drawing is smooth. You're going to be my salesman, dude. Ken says he's a peanut. He's a creature from the Black Legume. I get it. Oh, man. All right, let me see here. At the very least, you know what? Here we go. Let me get one reference up here. For who exactly? For the creature from the Black Lagoon. That way I can get some quick reference. All right, cool. Yeah, because I want him doing a little something right here. This will be funny, I think. Creature from the Black Lagoon. Checking out my little reference here, make sure I got his little gills and stuff kind of in the right spot. Everybody's taking a bite out of Catwoman tonight. Oh, here we go. it's covered up by the dude's gills. Fins. Too fun. All right, one more guy. I gotta have a. You know what? We were talking about the Munsters earlier. Herman Munster. That's our guy. All right, let's keep that reference up for just a little bit. At the very least, he'll look like Frankenstein. I don't know if I can make it look like Herman. I'm not the biggest portrait guy, but we'll see. Herman was always a favorite when I was a kid. Almost there. I like this guy. I like these guys. They're crazy guys. That's funny. I just had Frankenberry tonight. So in a weird way, I was honoring him. Man, that's a full picture. Holy smokes. All right, let me catch up with the chat a little bit. There's a lot of drawings. Let me see where I left off here. I think I left off with bump is where I think let's see. Some person said he's a salty individual, but a hard nut to crack. Oh, we were continuing our jokes. I see. Frankenstein, I agree. Gilbert, I told you we were having thighs for supper tonight, but not those thighs. Some person says, it was a monster mash. It was a graveyard smash. Herman is definitely her man. All the best and biggest parts make him whole. Some person says that reminds me maybe some tombstones for ambiance. Yeah, that's true. That's true. We can mark that in here. That would be a good idea. She could even be sitting on a tombstone so that she's not floating in the air. And then we can have a lagoon back here for this guy. I think that's a good idea. Awesome, awesome. Throw in a moon. Nice busy Halloween piece. This is a busy piece. Good idea, guy. That's good. That's good. Peter says, and next you'll want a giant. Peter read my mind. We have two minds, my friend. Some person says, that's no moon. Kevin says, what a big head you have, Herman. You know what they say. And my feet are big too. Here lies huge ass. I read it and I didn't know what it was going to sound like until I read it. I'm going to note it down for here. I got huge ass right here. I love it. Somebody said Mr. Peanut is the biggest freak in the group. I think he is. I would have to agree with that. Phil McCracken. Some person says it's a sixum. A lot of vagina. that's a popular one. All right, I'll note that one there just in case. That was from Austin Powers, right? So fun. All right, this piece is pretty much where it is. This is where this one lives. Good Halloween piece. All right, so we've got these two pieces for tonight, my friends. We got Flynn's Arcade Halloween Night. And we've got Catwoman Halloween Night. I love it. Love it. Whew. You guys. All right, we'll do these one at a time. That way I don't get confused. Let me see, what time is it right now? It's 12:12. It's almost 12:15. I was sick. I'll put that on one of the tombstones. I might have to put that down. I'm going to put it down before I forget. I don't want to forget it. I still got a tombstone. Okay, so I guess you got jotted it down just in case. It might actually make the cut. It's almost 12:15, so we'll let this go until 12:20. I see Kevin is already in the room with $1. Thank you, my friend. I'm going to write that $1 down because I do respect your dollar, sir. All right, let me turn on the old thing here because it is auction time. So I'll turn that on right there. If anybody's watching for the first time, or maybe you're watching this and it's not live for you anymore, and maybe you want to catch us live on Saturdays to participate in our little auctions. Basically what we do is every Saturday we get together at 10 o'clock, and then at midnight or so, we auction off the sketches that we came up with together. And if you happen to be the person who wins the sketch that you receive in the mail will be the fully inked version of this. This is just the pencil sketch. And basically, you just send me a PayPal with your mailing address and all that good stuff. And that's all there is to it. It's 1, 2, 3. It's a common tombstone joke. Yep. Pepperoni, yeah. Paul in the room with 35. Thanks, dude. Yeah, we'll let this go until 12:20, and then we'll do a 10-second countdown. I do the count. I jump out and I go to the live chat on the YouTube channel, and I type the countdown directly into the chat, so that way we know exactly everybody is in the same chat. If anybody's if anybody's watching from one of the Facebook channels or something like that, I to really recommend that you hop on over to the live chat on the YouTube channel, so that way everybody is synced up. Buried alive. Died how he lived. Dying. I love that one. Christy Hen in a room with 37. Thank you, bro. Ken in here with 45. Thanks, man. I know I'm running just a little bit behind. Christy Hen again with 48. Thanks, dude. Paul back in the room with 55. Thanks, dude. Kevin, tradition is solid. 69 from Kevin. Thanks, dude. You're awesome, bro. The 69 tradition is now secure. Some person is sharing the Kickstarter link for Kat's campaign. Very important. I hope that everybody here will please show her some support. That would be really, really cool. Paul back in the room with 75. Thanks, dude. Oh, Christy Hand with the 69. Paul outbid you 1 second before you. But the 69 is always welcomed. Some person says, I think I saw her character designing MAGITTENS on the last Waffle House stream. Yes, in fact, she was. Yeah, she's doing a lot of world building over there. Kevin says, Barb Dyer. She was always getting into sticky situations. Chris Dehan in the room with 78. Thanks, dude. Maurice in the room with 80. Thanks, dude. Awesome. Christy Hand back in with 83. Thanks, dude. Maurice back with 85. Thanks, dude. You guys are awesome. The competition is thick. The competition is tight. Kevin says, see you on the other side, but don't take too long. I heard the Wi-Fi is terrible. Oh, no. Chris Dehan with the boob bid. 8008. Started by Courtney herself. Malka, the Cyber Angel herself, started the boob bid as a new tradition. You're awesome, dude. Back with 88. Thank you so much, dude. $69 and boob are solid traditions here. Ken says, nice. You have to let Courtney know. All right, a little bit less than 2 minutes left to go. The drama has been thick. All right, less than 1 minute left to go. Looking at the clock. Sweet. Maurice back in the room with 90. Thanks so much, dude. Peter says, think of the Dig Dugs. Think of the Pac-Mans. Time is almost up. I'll have to hop over to the live chat in just a minute. $12.20. Time is up. Let's see. The largest bid in the room right now is Maurice with 90. We're going to start the 10-second countdown. And remember our 3-second rule. If the countdown is interrupted in the 3 seconds left in the countdown, we start the countdown over at 3. That's something that we started implementing. Ken, I think you were the one that suggested that. And so far, I think everybody likes that rule. Everybody's been super cool with it. So that's what we have kept up to this very day. Some person says, with all the neon, this would be a good blacklight poster. Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, there's going to be a lot of neon action happening in this picture for sure. All right, I'm hopping outside, hopping into the live chat with everybody. So doing a 10-second countdown, starting with 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Oh, I got to hold up. Chris Dehan in the room with 93. Thanks, dude. All right, starting the countdown again. We were left at 5, so I'm going with 4, 3, 2, 1. We just got an interruption. Kevin in the room with 98. Thanks, dude. Awesome. All right, starting the... got another interruption. Got Chris Dehan in the room with 99. Thanks, dude. All right, starting the countdown again at 3, 2, 1. Marking at 000 as sold, and sold. Let's go. Let me scroll back up, make sure. Kevin says, you didn't have to stop as I bid at 4 seconds. Well, I still have to stop, so I got to write it down. And then we would have continued at 3 seconds or at whatever seconds it was. Let me scroll up here. I believe it was Chris Dehan's bid, 99. Thank you so much, dude. Please, everybody, congratulate Chris Dehan. I'm writing down Flynn for Chris. Now, Chris, remember we mentioned before. That because there was some talk back and forth between whether or not we're going to keep the heels or if we're going to have little bare feet on her. I remember we were talking about that, or if you want to edge this a little bit more not safe for work or not. You can let me know now in the chat if you'd like, or you can let me know when you send in your PayPal. Either way, totally cool. Kevin says, good win, Chris. Paul says, congrats. Awesome. Some person says, Wild West bidding. Chris is saying, thank you. Christopher Bouchard saying, congrats. Very, very cool. We got such a cool group, dude. Such a cool group. All right, Chris, I've got your name on this one. This one is all yours. I'm going to set it over here. Keep it safe. Here, let me set this one like this at a 45 here, so that way we know what's going on with that. So, all right, Flynn's is out the door. That belongs to you, Chris. Congratulations for that. This one is going to be for the Catwoman. And this is Halloween in Gotham. It's 12:25. It's going to go to 12:30. Give it 5 minutes before we do a 10-second countdown. Kevin in the room with $1. Get the wheels turning. Thanks, dude. I might do a little something with Herman's arms or his hands. I think I need his hands to be doing a little like something like that. You know what I mean? Like I'm gonna put a note for myself. I like to see his cause he's got like the black fingernails and stuff. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Yeah, I like the idea of putting his hand like little Halloween action. Oh, where'd my other pencil go? Oh, there it is. It's in my hand. All right, continuing with the bidding. Paul in the room with 40. Thanks, Paul. You guys are awesome. Chris Dehan back in the room at 44. Thank you, dude. Paul back in the room with 50. Thank you so much. Chris says, no, 52, my good sir. Some person says, I just noticed Gilman is slobbering on Catwoman's knee. Yeah. he's like he's nomming on her knee. In fact, I might have to put in some little drool or something. I'm glad you caught that. Kevin says, in Gotham, when the bat is away, the D-tier villains come out to play. All right, Chris is in the room. He's got 52 up on the board right now. Oh, you know what? Having the bat symbol in the background would be an excellent idea. Here you go. Let me put a little bit of cloud cover. I'm going to do this really rough just so I can give myself the note. You see it real light right here. I'm going to have the bat symbol up in the corner right there. That's a good idea, dude. That's a good idea. Kevin says, at least Catwoman is in latex. It wipes clean. Maurice says, I think I need my Jerry Ryan vampire. Oh, that would be a cool piece. That would be fun. Hell yeah. 7 of 9. Some person says Mr. Peanut, the more devious penguin. Kevin says Jerry Ryan. Well, being 7 of 9 sucks. We can make her sassy. All right, you got 3 minutes left. There you go. 7 of 69. Perfect. She can assimilate me anytime. Resistance is futile. All right, Chris Dehan has the winning bid so far in the room at 52. Assimilate. Beware what you ask for. Yeah, less than 2 minutes. The little smirk on the mummy's face. He's like, this is going to be a good night. Some person says, I was expecting more familiar allies, but you'll do. Or he says, careful, I have an assimilation tubule. Gonna stick that thing in your neck. The mummy can die a happy man. I agree. I totally agree. All right, less than a minute left to go. It is totally Halloween gone wild. Right, Kevin? All right, looks like it is 12:30, my friends. So I'm going to hop out into the live chat. Chris, you've got the winning bid so far at 52. I'm going to do a 10-second countdown and see where we go from there. Let's go, ladies and gentlemen, with 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. Kevin interrupting the countdown for all of you. 69 bid. Thanks, Kevin. Kevin says, man, traditions must be upheld. 69. You guys are awesome. Thanks, Kevin. All right, starting the countdown again at 3, 2, 1. All right, marking it sold with 000 and kaboom. All right, let me scroll up, make sure nothing else happened in between. Very cool. Please, everybody, congratulate Kevin. Thank you, Kevin. That was awesome. I'm going to write that down for you right there. Write your name on the back of this here because that one belongs to you, my friend. You're awesome, bro. Kevin's like, wow, I won. Some person says, good shot, partner. Chris Dehan says, congrats. Peter says, congrats. Very, very cool. Got such a cool group, man. All right, let me set our bounty of the evening. Let's set it up here like this, like so. That way we kind of see what we had going on there. There we go. Oh, now it feels dark. Now it feels too dark. There you go. Let me just turn that way. Turn that there. Oh yeah, let's blow it all out completely. That's pretty good. Very cool. Good ideas, guys. Good ideas. Lots of fun. Some person is sharing the link again for Kat's Instagram. She is going to be doing some live streaming there, some drawing. I think mostly over the next month, what she's going to be live streaming is her drawing pages and interior art from her new book, which is the link. It's in the description of the thing of our video here, and it's pinned. Thank you, Alex. It's pinned at the top of the chat. Her Kickstarter that's running right now. You can pick up her PDF digital edition. It's like $5. If you just wanted to support her, just let her know that you're supporting her. But if you wanted to pick up one of the actual physical issues, all of them are going to come signed and remarked on the cover, and I think that'd be super cool. That'd be super cool for you guys to show her that you're supporting her. Some person says follow Kat on X at Cat Mouse Art also. Thank you, dude, for sharing the links. I depend on you to share links. It's actually super important. I do appreciate that, man. And of course, her main website. And you'll find all of her links at her website as well. I'm not sure if she has an online store there, but the real push for this month anyway is just supporting her Kickstarter. MAGITTENS #1, The Dragon Thief. It's actually an adorable little story with cute characters in a magical land with dragons and all kinds of good stuff. So I'm hoping that everybody will lend her some support. This is her first solo project. She's actually been working in comics for like over 10 years, but this is her first creator-owned solo project. She's earned her spot. Peter says Kat's Kickstarter has passed its goal. Yes! Awesome, awesome. So happy. Yes, yes. Kat's book is fully funded now. Awesome. We want to see how far we can go with the funding over the next 20 days. I know she's got some stretch goals. She's going to be posting more preview art. She's got some stretch goal ideas and things that she wants to do for the book, so everybody can get some free stuff. Thanks, Peter, for posting that. By the way, that's exciting. Made me very, very happy. Very good, very good. I like to see her succeed. Kevin says share links. Nintendo may not be happy with you. No, you know what? She's really flying by the seat of her pants just a little bit right now. This is her very first campaign, and she was keeping it very simple and making sure that she could manage it and not scheduling too many things or making too many tiers in the campaign itself. I do want her to get out there and promote. I'm probably going to talk to Bancroft at some point this week to see if we can make some time for her. So yeah, I'm hoping if anybody happens to be on a live stream that promotes comics in any way, shape, or form, if you happen to mention it and we can get Kat on there to promote, if you can kind of help me out in that department, that would be really, really appreciated. Promoting, campaigning, creating comics, that's our bag. But all this other stuff is pretty new to me, actually. It's pretty new. Tagging and sharing links and doing the technical side of it. So I appreciate everybody's help, spreading the word, sharing the links, lending some support. Huge help. K-pop, what's up? I'm glad you're hanging out with us. Awesome. He said, K-pop says that's awesome. The kick looks cute. Thanks. Thank you so much. She's doing so well. She's doing everything on this campaign. It's the first time that she's doing it completely by herself. I'm basically there for moral support and to help her put books in boxes when we start shipping. Other than that, she's handling all of the other duties. She wanted to do it all herself, and I think she's doing awesome so far. Some person says, I see it's kind of a trial run for doing fulfillment part to get used to. Yeah, exactly. And the best way to learn is really to go through all this. There's so many different steps, and there's different things that you don't realize that's actually time consuming. And it's things you wouldn't think about any other way unless you were like right in the middle of it doing it. Like even creating all of the clip art and thumbnail art for the campaign so that all the links, actually connect where they're supposed to go and everything looks like it's easy and it makes sense for people that want to order things. All that stuff is very, very time consuming. It's not rocket science, but it does take some time. It's a learning curve. It does take some time to get it all down. Some person says get a QR code in the corner of the screen. Cool. I definitely need to do that. Thank you for telling me about the QR code, by the way. I didn't even know about the QR code, that it's in the corner of the screen thing. K-pop says, I do campaign stuff. I might do another spooky group hang by the end of the month. Oh, awesome. Yeah. I will hit up Kat if I do. Please do. Yeah, please reach out to her, and I think that would be awesome, and I'm sure she would be excited too. Super, super cool. Thank you so much, guys. Yeah, our little comic book community is, the larger companies are kind of faltering in whatever specific ways, and it's kind of leaving a space for indie comics and for individual creators to kind of make a space of our own. So I think this is a very, very important time for creators like us. to be able to reach people and get our stuff out there and make a bigger impact. And we can keep on growing this and doing it and making it bigger. Well, dudes, we went over by a little bit, but not by too much. I think we did good. And I appreciate you spending your Saturday with me. Awesome. I had a great time. I always look forward to hanging out with you guys. I think I'm going to grab a snack. And I might let Waffle know that we're going to play a couple games or something like that. And I think that's our Saturday night. I hope everybody enjoys the rest of the weekend. Have a good time with your Sunday. Kat is actually out in Baltimore right now. She's over at Balticon, and she'll be back home tomorrow. So, yeah, I think that's everything. And as far as I know, we'll be back again next weekend, Saturday, 10 o'clock Standard Eastern Time. We'll do this all again. And thanks so much again for enjoying the art and for supporting and just hanging out and having fun. Have a great night, everybody. And we'll be talking to you soon. Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Good night, Seattle.